joining. This is Rocky Romero with Peers on Demand, and thanks for joining and participating and willing to be interviewed. Maybe you could share exactly your business. What exactly do you do? What is your business?
Sure. Well, I specialize in working with privately held distribution companies, the owners and managers of those. I grew up in that business and recognized a need early on for maybe a little education in that. But ideally, I spend time helping those folks clear away the barriers to profitability. That's really been my focus. I believe in small business, and I want those companies to thrive. So that's where really my passion is.
So distribution companies, can you share a little bit more about who specifically would be a great contact or connection for you?
Sure. A lot of the companies I work with are maybe construction-related distributions. So if you think about a company who is the middleman, if you will, between the manufacturer and maybe someone who would sell to an installer, could be construction-related supplies, those types of things. So the clients I work with are that wholesale middleman type of B2B players in there. And that's, again, who I really focus on. I don't do much on the business to consumer side. I love the B2B world. I mean, that's just, again, where I grew up. And there's so much opportunity there. I mean, just fantastic amounts of opportunity.
Well, you're a speaker, you're an author, and you certainly have tremendous experience in the distribution business. Can you think back and share a story of someone, a business that received tremendous value by working with you? What would that be?
Well, let me share a little bit of a story about one client, really how I got into the coaching side of my business. Previously, I was doing a lot of consulting work and, as you said, speaking work, and I write a lot. But I never really entered into that coaching world where I spent time with the owners and managers of their companies, just working on helping them overcome challenges. So it was kind of years and years ago, a gentleman who I'd met through some of the trade association meetings I'd spoken at, and he and I kind of hit it off a few times and became friends. And so I received this phone call, and this gentleman, he called, said, "Hey, can I run something by you?" I said, "Sure, no problem. What can I do for you?" He said, "Well, I fired all my outside salespeople yesterday." And after a dramatic pause, I thought, well, okay, that's a new one for me. I hadn't seen that one before. And I think most business owners actually have fantasized about this, but never really gone through with that. And so he did this. And he said, I think I might have been a little bit rash in my decision making there. And I said, well, I think you're probably right. I think I need to run that by somebody before I make those types of decisions. And I said, well, that's probably a good idea too. He said, well, what would that cost me on a monthly basis? And I started laughing. I said, well, I don't know, but boy, let me figure it out. And so that was really the beginning of that relationship. And really, this individual was looking for someone to be that unbiased third party, that person who I really had no financial stake in their company or anything. I'm not going to get fired. I'm not going to be their banker or attorney, but someone who they could run by and say, I'm thinking about doing this. What do you think about it? And what have you seen in other industries? And so I think, that was one of those stories that has always resonated with me. And I remain good friends with this gentleman. That was 10 plus years ago. And I do work with his company and his management team on and off. Whenever he's running into that challenging part and he's a little confused, maybe he wants to start down a different direction with a location, or maybe a new product group, or maybe he's even, thinking about acquiring someone. That's when he'll reach back out and say, Jason, let's do some time together. And that's the service I love to provide. I love that kind of work.
Well, that's exciting. You're right. I've never heard of anybody else running across a situation where they got rid of all their sales people, which is the lifeblood of the business. And of course, obviously, we're subject to human emotions. Those things happen. And luckily for him that you were there and to be able to provide the thoughts, ideas, strategies, consulting, and really a course of action. So if someone wanted to work with you, Jason, what's the best way for them to reach you?
Well, the best way to find me is my website, thedistributionteam.com. That's one great way to do it. I'm also very active in LinkedIn. and they can come find me there. And I have my articles out there, but really those are the best ways to get in touch with me is find me there. They can always email me, of course, at jason@distributionteam.com. But any of those vehicles, or Google Jason Bader out there. I'm not the wrestler. I'm the one that actually speaks with clients. But those would be great ways to get in touch with me. And I love working with privately held companies because I want them to succeed. That's my passion.
That's exciting. Jason, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts, your story, and certainly how to get a hold of you. And hopefully we can continue our relationship as well. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, Rocky. Thank you for this time. Appreciate it.